Hi friends. Coming in at you with another concealer battle check-in. Today I have on the Pat McGrath again Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer this side and the Shiseido on this side. The shade on the Pat side again, I use M16 for Orlova. Under the eyes, I actually combine LM13 and LM14. So LM14 on the greater under eye area, LM13 more on the inner part of the under eye. And I applied also MD22, but I filmed a Linda video where I applied a lot of her Infinity palette powders as well as some of her Spectral palette powders. So I wanted to test that palette out, but I still feel you can see the wear of the concealer, how well it kept. And again, taking a look at the under eye area. And here we have the Shiseido. Oh, what am I doing? I forgot to tell you the time frame. This makeup was applied 7:30 a.m. this morning, and we're looking at 3:34 p.m. I had wanted to apply this earlier in the day, but the lighting is okay around 3:30 now since we're getting closer to spring. So I was able to get away with a later application time. Today was really easy. I woke up at 6 a.m. I washed my makeup brushes. I prepared clothes for Bay's house. I did my Super Sheet live video, and then I prepared to film my Linda video, and I've been editing. I do want to train a little bit, but I wanted to do that later in the early evening. So if you were looking to see how this wore, you know, during handstand and contortion training, well, I'm so sorry to disappoint you, but I wanted to show you the Shiseido side. Now, I find right away the main difference between the Shiseido and the Pat is that Shiseido just has more of a natural finish, and I think that's to be expected. And I wanted to make note that the liquid concealer, not this color specifically, but the 303 medium, I applied all over my face. If you want to take a look at how that looks, I feel this provides pretty decent coverage for my post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, right? You still see some of it, but you know, what are you gonna do? I feel that the Pat, because of its softer matte finish, it's just gonna have better long wear. However, the Shiseido, I feel, is just so beautifully skin-like in finish and in texture. And I think that's the whole point of the line. Although it's supposed to be self-refreshing, all-day wear, they're trying to make it still as skin-like as possible. So although it might not be as matte as the Pat, I feel it's still pretty long wear. I mean, this is a pretty good feel and texture after 8 hours, and I have a lot of powder on. Under the eyes, I did the stick. Now, fun fact, the Shiseido line formulated the stick specifically for under the eyes because this is a little more emollient in nature than I feel their liquid concealer. I applied 302 medium. Well, actually lies. I applied 304 medium first as like a corrector shade, and then I applied 302 medium as like my under eye highlight, if you will. And then I applied the 401 tan shade for my contour on this eye. This is a little warmer than Pat's MD22. I actually prefer Pat's shade over the Shiseido because I feel Pat's shade is a little more neutral in tone versus the Shiseido. So I like that better as like a between a contour and a bronze moment, if you will. And for the powder though, the Shiseido, I applied the Radiant loose powder to set not only the under eye but the rest of my face. And then of course I went in with the light pressed powder under the eyes and went all over the face with the medium pressed powder. Oh, guess what came in the mail today? Pat's brushes. These are soft, fam, like soft. And I'm sorry I don't have enough time today to film with these. I'm gonna film with them tomorrow because I want to try them out, but they feel good. They feel really good, and I love the shape. These are all of them together. Isn't that fun? I absolutely love it. I'm gonna play with them a little bit after this video, but I'll come on camera and do it then for you, yeah? But here's how we're looking. What do we think, friends? I feel the pat, people, you know, they've been saying that the pat is smoother, that they could tell right away which is pat and which is not pat. But I feel the Shiseido is still extraordinary. I mean, definitely one of the standout complexion lines to come out back in 2019. Absolutely. Their powder foundation that recently launched is sublimely good. And overall, I've just been a fan. I've been using all these concealers interchangeably. What I will say though, in terms of my face color, I definitely prefer the Shiseido 303 medium as my all over face color, because the M16 is like good for me, but it's funny because the M16 against the Dior makes me look a little, just a little tiniest bit washed out, but I feel like I look a little washed out with the pat when seen with the Shiseido, which is really funny to me. So I feel like 303 medium is like my most ideal shade match for all over the face if I were to just exclusively use the concealer. And I love 302 medium. This is such a great shade for under the eye. It's like not too bright, but just brightening enough that it doesn't look too out of place and just too washed out under the eyes. But I'm happy I got LM13 because I feel it doesn't look as warm anymore when I just use LM14 by itself for under the eyes. So what do we think, fam? What do we think of the texture? I'm seeing if I could... Is that better? I'm trying to get a good angle for you. So here's from above, and here's looking from below. And here is the full profile again of the Shiseido side all over my face. And here again is the side with pat all over my face. And here's a look at the forehead. Of course, I got a little shine on there, but not too bad. And yes, I did do still Shiseido on this side and pat on this side. Looking at my mirror, I do feel the pat side kept up a little better, but again, I feel the Shiseido is just so sublime in finish and texture that I don't mind if it didn't keep as well for as long. And it could be maybe I didn't buff enough on this side, but if I cut down the exposure, you could just see that there's more texture hanging out on this side than I feel there is on this side. Again, it just could be a matter of buffing out the powders more, but there's a little more shine on this side than there is on here. All in all though, if you were trying to decide between pat and Shiseido, Shiseido is definitely ideal for drier skin types, despite their all-day wear claims. If you see that and you fear it's gonna be matte, not so. I believe this is like the best part of satin in terms of how long it could last throughout the day and the coverage. Shiseido's coverage, I feel, is a good medium. Some people expect more and some people want more. For the person who's not into coverage, one of you had said that you're not into the fact that Pat's concealer is full coverage, then maybe Shiseido is the better choice for you. Update, since I will be at Bay's house for the next 2 days, I won't be able to ideally conduct my Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer check-in because I won't be in front of natural light, and I could bring my little artificial light, but it's just not going to be the same, and his light is so yellow that I feel it's going to make it look odd on camera, and you guys are not going to get a true representation of the, not only the shade, but the wear. My apologies, the Power Fabric check-in will be for next week, or if I could do it on a Friday, maybe I can drop it that evening. We'll see, but it's not going to come anytime soon, but don't worry, I'm going to do it. Okay, but yeah, friends, let me know what you think between the Shiseido and the Pat. I love them both. I love them both for different reasons. I love the fact that they're both small items that I could take with me, that I could rely on them for all over face coverage, that I don't have to bring an actual foundation along for the ride. And the fact that I can do a whole complexion with just, whether it be exclusively the Shiseido or exclusively the Pat, I can make it happen. Thoroughly happy with all my concealer purchases. And yes, I will still do a ranking video because I know people just love, they just love to see what my favorites and least favorites are. I get it. Ultimately though, I feel all these concealers play a different role. Like, it's tougher when you're dealing with skin texture and all that stuff. Everyone's skin texture is different, everyone's whatever is different, but I'm trying to make it happen as best as I can. They're all pretty high on the ranking. I feel like I haven't purchased a concealer that I hate, but I know that people still want to know my favorites, one, you know, top to bottom, however I'm gonna rank it. But yeah, thank you for tuning in for another vlog style concealer check-in featuring Shiseido and Pat. Let me know what you think down below, what your favorite is, and until then, friends, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, tutorial, concealer battle check-in, or a Friday night chit chat. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.